USA Championships. Let's talk about the jumps on both the women's side and the men's side. Long, high jump, triple jump as well. Let's dive into it. Already recapped everything from the sprints, the hurdles, but wanted to make sure I can show the field events some love. Shout out to Paulie Throws. Go check out his channel for not only a full recap of all the throwing events, but also with interviews of all the throwers from the USA Championships as well. And of course, check out all the other recaps that I did from the sprints and the hurdles, and check out all our stuff from City Smack. But let's dive in. Women's long jump. In my opinion, this actually was one of, and arguably, I don't know, it was one of the best competitions of the entire USA Championships. Tara Davis-Woodhall got the win in 7.12 meters, just ahead of Claire Bryant, who jumped 6.97 meters, a little bit windy, and then Quanisha Burks 6.90 meters. Quanisha Burks gets the World Championship standard with her jump of 6.90. She gets it in this competition. Tara Davis-Woodhall, this was a dramatic competition. To start off, just going through, obviously you can see it here, but going through the rounds. In the first round, Tara Davis-Woodhall foul. But then you have Claire Bryant and then also Jasmine Moore. So Jasmine Moore jumps 6.81 meters and Claire Bryant is 6.77. Alyssa Jones, 6.72. These three women lead in the first round. Second round, and we know Tara's capabilities, we know her talent, but she fouls once again. Very reminiscent of what happened last year at the Olympic trials, where she was fouled in the first two rounds heading into the final round. And remember, if you don't make your third round jump, you're out of the competition. You're done. So that was some tension. Second round, though, Quanisha Burks enters into the conversation. Jasmine Moore improves her lead. Alyssa Jones improves her mark. So you have Jasmine Moore leading with 6.82. You have Claire Bryant at 6.77. You have Quanisha Burks and Alyssa Jones at 6.74. Alyssa Jones gets the edge because she has a second best mark of 6.72. Now, I would say that 6.82 would probably get you onto the team. I'm I can't do this off the top of my head, but it's been a very long time where 6.8 was not able to get you on the long jump team, but it eventually did not make it. Round 3, Tara Davis-Woodhall, 6.92 meters, clutch performance, just like she always does. She, like I said, 2024 Olympic trials, same situation. Speaking with her afterwards, she specifically said, I just turned my brain off, I listened to my coach, and I jumped. She did what she needed to do, and she performed. And it paid off. Went through the rest of the competition, 7.11 meters, then 7.12 meters, eventually ending things off with a world lead, and 6.91 meters. So all the performances, 6.91 or higher for Tara Davis-Woodhall, booking her ticket to the World Championships in Tokyo this year. Now, she won a silver medal at the World Champs in 2023. She got the gold medal at the Olympics last year. Now she is focused on getting the gold medal at the World Championships, which would be her first gold medal. So we'll see how that actually does play out. But the rest of the competition, Claire Bryant, she held her position in second. She managed to get that 6.97, and that held throughout. So no improvements, but that was good enough. And it was slightly windy, but regardless, she said she's going to the World Championships, all that. Quanisha Burks, she improves to 6.90 meters. So fifth round jump, 6.90, puts her into the top 3. But then you have Alyssa Jones, who also jumps 6.90 on the final jump. But what happens? It goes, because they have the same mark, it goes to the next best jump, and Quanisha Burks 6.82 in the 6th round. What's crazy is, if Quanisha Burks didn't jump this 6.82, then Alyssa Jones would have gotten the 3rd place spot because she had 6.74, which also Quanisha Burks had, but Alyssa Jones also had 6.72. So literally, because Quanisha Burks not only jumped 6.90, but also the 6.82 in the final round, that secured her spot on the long jump team to the World Championships. And as I said, Jasmine Moore, she ended up in 5th place, jumping 6.82 meters. Unfortunately, outside of the top 3, and this is going to be the first time that she missed the long jump team to the World Championships or Olympic Games, I think, ever. Since 2021, when she went to the Olympic Games, I think she competed in both the long and the triple jump. If I'm correct, I think she might have missed the long jump. So this is a big crazy thing. We'll talk about the triple jump in a second. But interesting dynamics with a ton of different events. Tara Davis-Woodhall, Claire Bryant, Quanisha Burks, even Jasmine Moore, Alyssa Jones could, but I don't think she has any points. They can all go to the Diamond League final and actually win that competition, which would then give another spot to Alyssa Jones. But Tara Davis-Woodhall, Claire Bryant, Quenisha Burks. If they win the Diamond League final, then Alyssa Jones gets a spot to the World Championships. If Jasmine Moore goes to the Diamond League final and wins, she gets a spot to the World Championships. We'll come back to that in a second when I talk about the triple jump, but there's some scenarios there. Tara Davis-Woodhall, Claire Bryant, Quenisha Burks. I think Tara Davis-Woodhall is the favorite for the gold medal at the World Championships. It'll be competitive, but we'll see how that actually plays out. But speaking of Jasmine Moore, triple jump, women's triple jump. This was a foregone conclusion before the competition even started. First of all, Jasmine Moore is the only woman in this field to have not only the World Championship standard, but to also be in the World Championship, the World Rankings quota. None of these other women are in the quota, and unfortunately, none of these other women are going to the World Championships. Like, the United States just isn't deep in the triple jump on the women's side, and this is the first championships that USA's that Katora Orji and Tori Franklin are not competing in either or since 2012 or 13, I forget. So Jasmine Moore, she not only wins the competition like you expected, every single one of her jumps would have won the competition, 14.29, 14.09, 14.26, 13.99, 14.23, but on her final jump, she gets out to 14.68 meters. Season's best for her, makes her number 3 in the world this year, I think only behind the Cuban jumpers of Lianis Perez Hernandez as well as Lidames Povea from Cuba again. So I think this puts her in a very good position to potentially medal at the World Championships like she did at the Olympics last year. She got bronze last year behind Thea LaFond as well as Shanika Ricketts at the Olympics. She also got bronze in the long jump. But because she jumped this 14.68 and she is only focused on the triple jump. So speaking to her afterwards, she said that she said that she's going to talk to her coach on potentially going for the long jump at the Diamond League, but she seemed, and this is immediately after coming off the track, she seemed pretty focused on just going for the triple jump. And it'll be an interesting dynamic the first time that she's training for the triple jump or one event, solely leading into a Worlds or Olympics. And that might be very helpful. And that's why I think she might be in a good position to get on the podium. The triple jump is so competitive between the Cuban jumpers, Povea and Perez Hernandez, between Shanika Ricketts, between Thea LaFond, between all these women who are in the conversation. It's going to be very tricky. But Jasmine, she has a medal from last year. 14.68 is very, very, much puts her in the conversation. Yulmar Rojas, I think she jumped this year in the long jump, but nothing in the triple yet. So seems like she's still on a path towards recovery. TBD there, but shout out to Jasmine Moore going to the World Championships, even if she missed it in the long jump. Let's finish off with a few others. Men's long jump, Isaac Grimes, Will Williams, Jerian Lawson. I think all three of them are going to the World Championships. Even though none of them have the standard, but I think they are in the quota. I know Will Williams and Jerian Lawson should be good. I need to cross-check on Isaac Grimes, but they, top 3. Unfortunately, it's crazy because, man, I don't know. Obviously, the quality of long jumping in the United States hasn't really been as great as in previous years. So, back in, unfortunately, I guess, prior to the pandemic, I think Marquise Dendy at World Indoors, he's gotten medals at various capacities post-pandemic, I think 2022. So, we've seen things, come up and down, but, we'll see how these guys, the rest of the world is just stacked right now. Stacked. So, shout out to the men's long jump, Isaac Grimes, Williams, Jerian Lawson. On the men's triple jump side, also not too crazy of a competition, but huge shout outs to Russell Robinson getting the win here, 17.15 meters. He has a standard. Salif Mane, 17.15 also on his last jump. So he just equaled what Russell Robinson did. And he wasn't even in the top 3. He was outside the top 3 with his 16.89. So got it on his final jump. Shout out to Salif Mane for getting into position here. And Will Clay showed up, showed out. And from my understanding, he is in the world rankings quota. So he should be going to the World Championships, even though he doesn't have the standard, but got the 3rd place here, secured his spot. And I think I can't even count how many teams he's made, but he's been making teams since 2011 at the World Championships in Daegu that year, where he ended up getting a bronze medal. And I think he medaled in the long jump that year as well. But he's been a double threat all through his career, long and triple jump. Olympics in 2012, he medaled in both. But another team for Will Clay, literally a veteran in the sport. Shout out to Will Clay and his progression and consistency year after year. Finally, let's just quickly shout out the high jumps for both the men and the women. Tyus Wilson, Shelby McEwen, Javon Harrison, all jumping to be able to get the top 3 here. And I think they're all set and good to go to the World Championships. Javon Harrison, notably, he had done some long jump competitions this year, but seems like he's going to be focused once again on the high jump. Shelby McEwen, of course, we know him as the silver medalist from the Olympics last year. He's trying to upgrade that to gold, so we'll see how that does go for him. Tyus Wilson, I think this might be his first team, so going to be interesting to see the dynamics going into the World Championships in Tokyo in just about a month's time. Now, let's close things out. I want to talk about the women's high jump, which also did this one also kind of went chalk a little bit. We saw Vashti Cunningham get the win, 1.97 meters. Last year, she actually lost the competition. I think it was to Charity. So she was able to get back on top and also get the World Championship standard. So big performance for her to get that clutch last jump in the high jump. Sana Barnes, she came up for second, but she's not in the world rankings quota, and she doesn't have the World Championship standard. She's going to try and get it. She's going to the NACAC Championships. So we'll see how that actually does play out. Emma Gates, I think, might be in the rankings quota. I need to cross-check, but that's what gets confusing about all these jumps, where it's like some athletes have the standard, some don't, and if you don't have the standard, you might be in the quota, you might not be. So tricky, but Vashti Cunningham going to the World Championships. She hasn't won a medal since 2019 when she got the bronze in the high jump at the Doha World Championships. The high jump is very competitive, but if she's getting back into form, hopefully she can find her way back into the 2 meters and above. That could put her right in contention for a medal. But that is just the jumps, the long jump, the triple jump, and the high jump from the USA Championships. Again, wanted to make sure I can cover these because I didn't do a preview, and some of the best athletes, some of my favorite athletes, in these various different events are competing. I love to see the men and the women in the triple jump competing, and love that, we're getting to send a good amount of athletes as well. So let me know what you think about, of course, the jumps at USATF champs. Let me know what you think about the entire championships and the weekend and all that. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.